Hey guys, this is Rise, and I'm here with Cholera, bringing you the third set, the winners match of the MSL Group 11. So far we've seen Jaedong take on Sky High, and Jaedong moved on, obviously. Now he's playing in this match. I hate to spoil it, but hey, this is the winners match. And Canata defeated Jehu to move on to this match. So now we have Jaedong versus Canata, and they're playing on Destination, which, by the way, is a Terran-favored map pretty heavily, too, by that for that matter. It's going to be a little difficult for Jaedong, but the fact of the matter is Jaedong, which means he has an advantage no matter what. And Canata is one of the most boring players we've watched in a long time. So again, Jaedong has the advantage in my eyes in both respects. And I pray the fact that Jaedong's in this game, that it makes it a much more exciting game than the last one that we kind of just watched, where we didn't see anything happen for a good 15 minutes. What do you think, Colorado? Are we going to see some action here because we got Jaedong?
I certainly hope so, and TVZ, of course, is a lot more action-packed than TVP can be. That was a no-rush 15 game then that we saw last game, and I do not want to watch that again. I highly doubt Jaedong would ever let that happen. I think you know, this is a pretty bad map for Zerg, though. I gotta say, it's a 2-to-1, worse than a 2-to-1 ratio in terms of stats here for TVZ. 24 and 11, making for a 69% win rate for Terran versus Zerg. And one thing we've been seeing plenty of times on this map is Terran going metal. It is a very good map to go metal. Just look at Flash versus Effort, for example, in our recent archives or films. That was an absolutely just perfect game played by Flash against Effort, who's a very strong Zerg player, but I mean, he just made it look so easy with that mech build. Basically, he went fast vultures there, and he also went for an 8-Rax, which is exactly what Canata is doing. So Canata, deciding that he had enough of No Rush 15, he's going to actually play a real game straight up here, and he's going to go right for some fast action here. Maybe an 8-Rax into mech, just like Flash did against Effort. Who knows?
Awesome. I love when games start off with action, man. I mean, if you remember the Flash game, which I know you do, when he played Effort, it was non-stop action. And there is the barracks right there, by the way. It was non-stop action, and the entire game, there was pressure on both players. But Jaedong is going to scout this out very quickly. Why is he going to the left? Is he going to go up his own ramp and see this? I don't know. It looks like no, he's just going to go around the outside, but he is going to know very shortly what's happening, although he's going for what looks to be a 12 hatch. He hopefully will find this out before those Zerglings pop out. I'm sorry, those drones pop out, and maybe he can switch it into a 12 pool, which we know will defend that pretty easily, I think, and where he shouldn't have much of an issue defending it with a 12 pool anyway, especially against Canata. Now, the fact of the matter is he's moving out a drone, but he's scouting it at the same time, so he's got to notice. He's got to notice what's going on, and oh, wow, look, he's taking a drone way out.
He doesn't plant.
So there goes the 12 pool. He's got 2 drones out to scout. He's going to find it very shortly. He's got that drone. Oh, but look. Oh, he just barely sees the SCV, and he's going to go find out where that barracks is. He knows it's coming, and he's going to be able to deal with it, I think, pretty easily at this point. And we'll have to see what he decides to do. We know that the weakness in Flash's build was Flash. Oh, and there's the bunker. Flash didn't have a barracks in his base for a little while, and he didn't have anything in his base for a little while. So if Jaedong can beat that out, he may be in good position, and that bunker is going to go up. Can he intercept that Marine? It looks like he does. He almost traps at the Marine. The Marine gets in the bunker. No, it gets killed. It gets killed right at the last second. So Jaedong intercepts it, and now he's going to send drones over to that barracks and intercept any other Marines coming, and that is a failure of a rush. That is exactly how you defend a rush before you have Zerglings. So keep that in mind for when you're trying to do that in your own games. And he is going to intercept another 2 Marines here, and hopefully take them out without losing any drones. And so far he hasn't lost any. No, he just loses 1 drone now. 2 drones. Oh, so a bit of a loss for Jaedong. But intercepting
again. Yeah, a bit of a loss there, but
Yeah, great interceptions here from Jaedong. I don't know if he's planted his hatch yet, because that bunker is still quite menacing. He has planted the hatch, so he is going to be fine here, I think. The Zergling's coming up now, and these drones have done they've done all the work they need to, killing off, you know, 3 Marines there, and also going to save the natural expansion. So he's a little bit of a lead right now. You know, some people were questioning whether Flash was behind when he lost his bunker and the Marine and the SCVs. I think it was definitely behind. It's not just straight up cost, but it's opportunity cost. The 8 racks build is not a very economically friendly build. And you know, he's got the forward racks, and now he's going to have to block his ramp with more SCVs, or else he could lose the game really quickly here. Jaedong rushing Zerglings forward. Of course, there's no barracks to make a wall there, so he's forced to pull 4 SCVs here, and Jaedong trying to pick off some hit points on them. Looks like they're forced to go back and repair 1 SCV down, 2 SCVs down. Jaedong in the base now with 3 Zerglings. Great play by Jaedong, getting into the base and planting his third hatchery. He's going to be in a huge lead this game now, and we have seen, so Canata is trying to go mech here, trying to get some vultures out, but Jaedong, let's kill off the SCV building the factory. He's going to kill off more SCVs inside the base. Oh my god, just look at this Zergling micro from Jaedong. It's ridiculous.
Wow, and this is exactly how you don't do the build that Flash did. I mean, Flash completely succeeded when he did his, and Jaedong showing Canata that he is indeed not Flash. He's taken out what looks to be 6 SCVs at this point.
Oh my
not
god,
to mention the
that's ridiculous.
Marines, the bunker, and a bunch of units altogether. This has been a huge failure of an investment from Canata, and I don't know if he's going to be able to recover from this for a while, although there is a vulture out, so he is going to be able to micro against any more lings that come his way. That sunken is going to be morphed in so that Jaedong can stop that vulture from doing a run by into his base. Hopefully for Jaedong, he sets up a wall at his ramp, and Canata now setting up an expansion for himself as well. He knows that if he doesn't expand, he is out of this game, so we're going to see both players, I think, macro up for a short while. A Hydralisk dead coming up. I don't think, or there is a lair morphing too, right? I think there's a lair morphing at the natural expansion, so we may see some lurkers popping out here in the very near future. And Jaedong leaving his Zergling inside Kanata's base for a later scout.
Yeah.
Brilliant play. I love when players do stuff like that. I mean, Canata should realize that that ling's there, but for whatever reason wasn't paying attention, and that ling is going to tell the story another day.
Yeah, that is, and these Zerglings, meanwhile, spot the Vulture. They need to block the ramp, though. I mean, that's the one thing that Canata can do to come back to the game is a good Vulture sneak and kill off a lot of drones. But meanwhile, Jaedong has put down, and Jaedong choosing to reveal his Zergling now. Maybe he might even take down a, no, he's not going to take down an SCV, but he's choosing to go for fast Hydralisks. He might just go for a lot of Hydralisks and try to end this quickly. He saw that there wasn't even a barracks inside of Kanata's base. The barracks is still hanging over his base. So that means no possibility of a bunker with any Marines there. So he's basically going to have to defend with just Vultures and Spider Mines, of course, for now. And meanwhile, Jaedong has gone to Lair. He also poses the threat of going Mutalisks, of course. So Canata in big trouble here. He has his expansion up, but Jaedong has a lot of options. He could go Mass Hydra still at this point, and he is putting down the Spire, so he's going to go Mutalisk Harass. But one build that is pretty good against Terran Mech is to go Mutalisk Harass first and then Mass Hydras, because you get the Mutalisk to force the Terran to overcommit a little bit on Goliaths, and then your upgraded Hydras, when the speed and the range are done, are very effective against the mass Goliaths. So maybe that's a tech pattern we're going to see from Jaedong. It could be one of many things, but this game is firmly in his favor right now, and I think if he does the correct thing, if he plays like Jaedong usually plays, he will win. I mean, Jaedong beat Flash on this map, and Flash is, of course, a much better player overall than Canata is, and he beat Flash when Flash was going for a mech build, and certainly Canata is gravely wounded from that early Zergling sneak also. So really all things in favor of Jaedong, I think, at this point.
Yeah, but definitely Jaedong, if he doesn't get another expansion up very soon, he is going to be in trouble. Because right now, oh, that drone somehow hiding from Canata, but no, Canata coming back to spot it a couple of seconds later. Jaedong really needs to get another base up, though, because if he doesn't,
yeah.
Canata is totally just going to out macro him, basically, even just off 2 bases. There's not enough drone saturation for Jaedong at this point. He's busy working on his tech. He's got a lot of tech up. Don't forget that every time you build a building with a Zerg, it takes a drone. So now all those tech buildings, not only do you lose the minerals that they cost to make them, but you lose the drones to make them as well. So it's a little difficult. And he's moving out with Hydras here. He's got Mass Hydra. In fact, not going Lurkers quite yet. And I like this. I do like this. This is a good build, I think, to go with only the 2 bases. It's going to take care of all of the... but he's got to watch out for Spider Mines. And if he doesn't, he's going to lose. We've seen how quickly Spider Mines can take out a huge group of Hydras, but he's got plenty of Overlords making their way up very slowly. He's got to get speed, and oh no, this could be bad. Oh, but he saves it, and oh, he moved right into it. He loses 6. He lost
Oh
6
my
Hydras, and
God.
look at his face. Oh no, that is
Oh
horrible.
my
But
God.
moving in, he's going to do some damage. He's going to take out a bunch of SCVs, and but Goliath's out on the field now. But Jaedong with a lot more units than Goliath's out there. Definitely the better unit combination of just straight Hydras versus Goliaths, and he's going to do a pretty good job setting some more vultures out, but no spider mines on the ground. Jaedong going to do a lot of economic harassment right here, and this is huge. This is going to help him stay in the game with only having the 2 bases, but now he's got to get that next base down. He's got to do it.
He has to, but I mean, man, if he had those extra 6 Hydras, he might have been able to just finish off Canata at that time. I mean, just he was doing such a great job there of clearing out the mines with just pure micro without the Overlord vision. I think maybe he would have been better off waiting for the Overlord speed. I think he probably is researching it at this point, but if he had those 6 Hydras, man, what a difference that could have made. Yeah, after that. Oh, and again, man. Mine just eat Hydralisks. Mine's, of course, one-hit kill Hydras, and that just saw that. I mean, that mine was like a mini nuke there. It took out 6 Hydras in that beautiful clump there. Really, you know, giving Canata a little bit of breathing room. But meanwhile, these could be all Mutalisks morphing here for Jaedong. In fact, most likely they are, given the timing. So Canata is definitely not out of the woods by any means. Canata still in, you know, big trouble. He lost a lot of SCVs defending against those Hydralisks in the last attack. He lost at least, you know, another 6 to 8 SCVs, and now Firebat Hero. What? Jaedong building at the left side here. He is going to pick up that expansion. Yeah, Firebat Hero always on the tip of my tongue at least. It seems nowadays with how many commentaries I do of him. Yeah. Whoa, that made no sense either. Okay. Well, in any case, looks like there are a bunch of Hydras there ready to protect against vultures, and meanwhile, a lot of vultures there gonna pick off some of these drones.
Yeah, that's going to be really bad for Jaedong if he loses all those drones in transit. I mean, oh, and he's still going to lose them. It looks like he's still... Oh, no! Oh, more mines going down. He's got to be so much more... You know, all he's got to do to really take care of these mines is the A-move. This is, you know, with Hydras, if you have enough, A-move will take care of most amount of mines. The fact of the matter, he's got an Overlord right there, too. He's got to get Overlord speed. The amount of money he's lost in not having it is... Oh, my God. I can't believe...
ridiculous.
I can't believe he doesn't have it yet. I can't believe Jaedong, of all people, doesn't have it yet. Muta coming out now, though, so interesting tech switch, especially with Goliaths out on the field. Although the mobility that he has from that is definitely useful, especially with the amount of vultures that we've been seeing on the map. Those Muta are going to be spotted by those vultures, so now Canata probably going to move back his Goliath force into his main base to deal with that. He's also got turrets going up. He's got a starport going up, so we'll probably see a science facility and science vessels very shortly. And Jaedong, I don't think these Mutas are going to pay off for him. I think he might as well just save that tech for something else because that's not going to do much of anything. He should really consider getting some Lurker tech down and start moving on to Hive now that he's got that 3rd base, although he's got to get that 3rd base up and running before he does that too. So Jaedong actually has a lot of work to do at this point, and Canata in a pretty comfy position, I think. And there's another evolution chamber going down, so we're going to see a lot of upgrades. I wonder if he's going to go for some sort of crackling build, actually, or just focus on Hydras. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think more likely than Lurkers is going to be the just the fast Hive and the Defiler crackling combination. The thing is, I mean, Lurkers are actually quite bad against mech. I remember, what was the game we watched where we saw stop Lurkers against mech, and they got all the Goliaths over them, and then they killed like 1 unit. It was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's actually up on Vile Attack. That's from the Lake Half versus STX series, which we're still holding off on doing because one of the games hasn't been commentated on yet. But yeah, Lurkers against mech is generally not a good idea. Goliaths just have way too many hit points to make the Lurkers very effective. Excuse me. But anyway, more Speed Vultures coming down. They keep attacking his lower left. That's smart from Canata, although this time he is... whoa, he actually runs one past. +1 upgrade for the metal, and he might even get all the way into Jaedong's base. But meanwhile, Jaedong with at least a dozen Mutalisks there. Actually, he does get it. Oh, but the drone might take it. Oh, drone!
Oh, the drone takes it out!
Hero drone.
Wow.
Hero drone.
Amazing.
Nice work there. Pimp drone. Jaedong trying to do a harass here. He needs to do some damage to Canata. He can't let Canata keep building this big metal army because we've seen time and again that this mid-game push is so strong from the Terran with the upgraded Goliaths.
Yeah, and I think that I don't think that getting that barracks is going to even things up either. I think that he's got to do a lot more damage than that. I wonder if we'll see some sort of guard tech, which... Oh, that is good, actually. Stopping the tanks. Kamikaze Ying, but not really losing that many mutas. So actually, that kind of, I say that paid off for him. And we do see some lurkers out on the field. So
Huh.
we are going to see
Interesting.
some interesting combination of tech here from Jaedong. I hope maybe he should have watched that match. It was in his team series, so he should know exactly what to do. Oh, but they're
lurkers.
stopped. They're stop lurkers. Brilliant. And the Goliaths are right on him. And oh no, now they're going to start getting caught and realize what's going on. And Canata backing off, losing a good amount. And the lurkers are going to try to move up. They're not going to be able to do too much more damage, though. Jaedong going to have to pull back. He takes out the tank. Pull back, Jaedong. Pull back. What are you doing? You're going to lose every single unit there, including those lurkers. Stop. What are you doing? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing that sort of play from Jaedong.
No, I mean, just look at that. I mean, it is a stop lurker trap. It was done perfectly. But the thing is, Medic Marines are fragile, and that's what makes them so good what makes stop lurkers so good against them, because they're 2-hit wonders, or at most 3 hits. At most 3 hits kill them. But Metal is just so different. With Metal, lurkers just aren't good. I mean, I just, there's really nothing good about lurkers against Metal. I guess what you can do is slow them down a little bit, because they'll need to build science vessels and they don't have enough gas to build a lot of them. But I just don't like lurkers against mech. It's just hard to use. And even there, used perfectly, you saw what happened. I mean, they barely killed any Goliaths. It was still mainly the Hydras and the Mutalisks doing the fighting. Whereas if that was a group of Medic Marines, all of them would have been dead. Every one of them would have been dead. And it would have been a completely different situation because of how much fewer hit points they have. I mean, basically, Terran Metal deals less damage per hit point of unit. Fire... Oh, wow, big attack coming out from Jaedong. Jaedong actually moving forward with another good lurkers, and this time he actually might be more successful. Nice work by Jaedong, managing to sort of split the army there, and I think Canata might have moved out a little bit soon this time.
This is interesting because he's got the Mass Hydra to deal with the Goliath and Vulture combo, and he's got some Lings and Lurkers out to deal with the tanks because the tanks are static. They're not moving once they're all sieged up, and they're a lot slower, so it could work, but man, and only Jaedong could pull this off, I think, honestly. Science Vessels are out now, though, and I think Jaedong really needs to consider some sort of tech switch. I don't know. I don't really even know what he can do at this point because I feel like he's a little behind. He does have 4 bases to the 2 of Canata, soon to be 3, though, as that command center continues to build outside of his main base in his natural expansion. And now we see Hive Tech going down, so I can only imagine that we're going to see Defilers. I doubt we'll see Queens in this game. A 5th base going up for Jaedong. And man, this is exactly why Terran Metal is so successful on this map. For whatever reason, it's very difficult for Zerg to break this. Canata, by the way, getting mined out in his main, and he'll probably get mined out shortly in his natural expansion as well. So Jaedong does have that on him. He's got to be careful. He's going to lose. Those spider mines actually not doing that much damage, but he's got to keep those in mind and just try to keep his units from getting ripped apart for no cost at all. I mean, those spider mines are basically free; they cost nothing. And certainly, we've seen some really cost-effective mines. The one that took out 6 Hydras. So Jaedong got to be more careful. And there's the Defilers mound right there. So we are going to see Defilers.
Yeah, Defilers are the one answer to Terran Mech. I mean, once you get them, almost all Terran Mech suffers greatly. I mean, splash damage still does happen, mines will still work, but nothing else will. And that's what he needed to get a while ago. I'm actually surprised at how late he is with his Hive Tech there. If you remember GG Play versus Flash, GG Play went for the early mass expansions and then went straight to Ultralisks, and that worked fine against the Mass Metal. Of course, that was on a very different map. It was on Medusa, which isn't a good map for Terran, but still, the same principle is true. You don't want to stay in the mid game very long against a Terran. Just look at this. I mean, with good micro, that's so many Zerglings. Oh my God, Zergling slaughter there. Those Vultures just slaughtering the crap out of those Zerglings. And I do have to commend Canata for some very, very strong Vulture play this entire game. The Vultures, if anything, have won him the game if he does win this game.
Yeah, that's very true. Finally, Jaedong brings a single Hydra list that can probably take out most of those Vultures. I can't believe it took him so long to do so. He's trying to break his way up, taking out those mines, but man, is it painful watching him do that. Those Lings got owned hard, and there wasn't much answer from Jaedong at this point. I got to say, man, he did. Oh no, another mine taking out more Hydras. Another 2 Hydras and a drone taken out. Oh, it's sad to see. Jaedong, I gotta say, he's not playing that great. It may be the map. I don't know. Maybe it's this weird strategy he's going. These spider mines though are just ripping him apart. I mean, I can't believe how badly he's been damaged from that amount of spider mines. But I gotta say, Canata is playing an exciting game this time, so I give him credit for that. Defilers are out now too. We're gonna see some consume. You know what else works good against metal? Plague. Why? Because
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
don't regen, and there's no medics for that metal, so they'd have to repair everything. So we may see some nice plague play here, which I'd be excited to see. Very exciting stuff when you see that against metal. And oh, Muta's catching
Oh!
only a few Goliaths there. Gonna totally pick apart the tank force over there. He's got a lot of Hydras to back this up. He's got to focus on the tanks. Why is he focusing on those? Oh, and there's Dark Swarm, but with all those spider mines, actually not going to do all that much damage. And he's attacking units that are in the mines and trying to take out science vessels. But it looks like Canata is going to be able to reinforce without
Wow.
much of an issue here. This time with a lot of Goliaths, and he's going to force Jaedong back once again.
That was a ridiculous battle there. I couldn't even follow what was going on. I mean, the air was won by Jaedong did a great attack there. I mean, I kind of disagree that he's not playing his best because he did just find that nice area without too much anti-air, and he went in. But the swarms and everything, I couldn't even tell what was going on. I think a lot of Jaedong's ground forces got blown up by mines. Now Jaedong trying to attack those two D-Matrix tanks. That cost a lot of units to break down. Meanwhile, he has pushed forward. I think he might actually be able to take down this army. Doesn't look like there's much on the mini-map anymore. So Jaedong might actually still take this game. Actually, he is definitely in the lead now with the Cracklings and the Mutalisks. A great tech switch there for Jaedong back to Mutalisks temporarily to catch those tanks off guard. And because it looked like for a second that Canata was fighting Protoss there. He had all tanks and vultures, just a few Goliaths. And Jaedong made him pay for it. Oh my god! Oh, one lurker killing so many SCVs here. It's not even funny. The upper left base of Canata is now going to go down, I think.
Yeah, that is awesome. I think we're kind of biased, I gotta say. We've been talking a lot about Jaedong, but you know, some credit has to be given to Canata for he's been playing pretty well. You're right. Jaedong wasn't out at that point. I didn't mean to say that he was going to lose the game or imply anything like that. He just was being fought back so many times, and his tech switches were questionable at first to me because nothing seemed to be effective. But now I think he's got Canata back on his toes, back on his heels, I should say, and Jaedong taking another base here and completely he's out-macroing Canata right now, and if he takes out that top left base, he'll be firmly in the lead at that point, although Canata is at 5 bases for mining, and so Jaedong definitely going to have to stop any further bases from going up if he's going to continue to stay in the lead, because that is exactly what's going to get Canata back into this game, although there we see some lurkers totally stopping that base from going down. Actually, one lurker totally stopping that base from doing anything, so nicely done by Jaedong once again, now harassing pretty well in only 3 mining bases, although that natural base might be almost mined out as well. So Cracklings showing their true power here, doing a lot of damage to buildings really quickly. Of course, Vultures will still destroy him. Oh man, those tanks and mines wrecking Jaedong's units, although he does manage to get a couple down. If he can take out that other, oh, he gets a swarm down at the last second.
Nice.
And that's totally gonna hold Canata back, and that is gonna be good news for Jaedong. And now Canata is on his heels, very much only on 2 bases mining, and one of which has got to be just about mined out at that natural expansion.
Wow, this is crazy. I was going to say, why hasn't Jaedong attacked upper left? But it looks like he has shut it down, although Command Center is still alive. But looks like Canata actually doing an interesting switch here. He's deciding not to save his upper left. He's going to let his reinforcements do that. Meanwhile, he's going for an attack at Jaedong's vulnerable expansion at the upper left. And Jaedong has a lot of sunken colonies there, so he might be able to delay long enough. I don't know, though. There's so many tanks, and Jaedong looks unprepared for this. You know, it's definitely a very audacious move there from Canata to ignore the fact that his main base was in danger there, where his main resources were in danger here. They still aren't mining, actually. Those lurkers should actually be moved in a little bit. But no, actually, I see why. Canata's got a lot of vultures there. Jaedong bringing reinforcements there. He needs to finish off this force, though. Looks like he's not doing too much. He needs to get moving with these. Some Dark Swarms need to go up here. He's bringing Zerglings forward. He needs to get those Defilers. Oh, nice. Nice swarm there. Another good swarm. That is a very key swarm there. That second swarm up there. And that one could take out all these tanks. Good D-matrixes, though, by the Terran player.
And you said lurkers weren't good against metal. Look at this.
Well, I meant lurkers in the mid game. I suppose are not so good against metal, but I still would prefer ultras against metal. In my opinion, I think it's better. But you know, it looks like Jaedong is proving me wrong here with his lurker defiler play.
Well, it is Jaedong, so I mean, you can't get too upset over that fact. And it looks like some overlords floating around here. I don't know if they're for spider mines or otherwise. Defiler going to get another swarm down right around those middle of the tanks, and that's going to be huge
Wow.
for the couple of lurkers that are in there. The Defiler seems to have gone down. Those science vessels are not doing much anything. He's been using defense matrix more than anything, and I think that is a
Yeah, no
horrible decision.
irradiates.
He's totally got to be irradiating those defilers. And Muta back out as well, although it looks like he's using that to take care of harassments. Canata taking out all the drones at that expansion, so actually doing a really good job of continuing to harass Jaedong at the same time, although that's going to be short-lived as Jaedong quickly can pump out a whole bunch of drones without much of a loss of unit production there. And now it looks like he's going back up to the top left again, which is one of Kanata's remaining forces, remaining strongholds. And that, as soon as that goes down, he's in trouble. And he's going to take out two science vessels. And now he's got no science vessels at all on the field. And Jaedong completely in control of this game at this point.
Jaedong playing beautifully this game. I mean, just look at these constant dizzying switches in tech. I mean, if us commentators can't even keep up with what the hell he's building, there's no way another player can they? I mean, just look at him. He's got a couple more Mulisks at the upper right now. Just crazy play. Although the mines, I mean, God, Kanata's mine's been just brilliant this game. But I mean, slowly but surely, I think Jaedong's going to win this. I really do, because you know, Jaedong is just putting so much pressure on. I don't know how much economy Canata has left. Jaedong has bottom right, upper right, and well, probably some minerals left at left side and bottom, so 4 minerals probably. And Canata, meanwhile, stuck to upper left and upper right, and upper right's getting harassed right now. So he needs to reclaim his bases, Canata does, if he wants to come back. But Jaedong looks like this attack may not work, though. He just kind of put his forces there in piecemeal this time around. Oh, gets a plague off, but all the forces, all the forces are down now. So he needs to rebuild another group of Hydra, Ling, Lurker, Defilers, Mutalisks, and then he'll be okay.
He needs to rebuild everything, and then he'll be okay. But
basically,
Jaedong can do that. And there's the drone pump I was talking about. Jaedong sending all those units to the bottom right. Once again, he's got to get a couple more. Oh, he's got 2 Sunkens there. Maybe he's got to get another one to really block it off. And it looks like Canata trying to move back to the 9 o'clock position again. That science vessel might get caught, though. I mean, it is just floating around with no defense at all. Canata pushing in the 9 o'clock position. It looks like the announcers don't really feel like showing us that, but it looks like he does have units at that base at this point, and seems like the most thing worthy of commentating right now, not according to the Korean guys anyway. And there we go. He's tanking his way up. It looks like he's just going to slowly try to take those out, and at the same time, he's going to try to defend the right side. A swarm down there. That base just cannot get up and running for Canata, and if Jaedong can continue to delay that the way he has been, he's going to definitely take the lead in this, as Kanata's certainly going to be mining out the top right very shortly, and then he'll be left with only the top left at this point. Jaedong, I don't know how much mineral he's got left, but I think he's got enough to deal with this at the very least. And a lot of Goliaths, very Goliath heavy. A good swarm or two will take care of all of that, and there we see another Defiler, but it looks like, oh man, look at all those spider mines. This is just, it takes Jaedong so long to clear those out. And if he doesn't have the patience to do it, he loses a ton of forces. Those mines are win-win for Canata. Delay plus destroy, and Jaedong can't do much of anything except try to take him out with Overlords, you know, leading the way. And now Canata actually making his way down the middle of the map, and he's completely keeping Jaedong back from defending that left 9 o'clock base. Although a ton of Muta coming out for Jaedong, and he's going to totally take out all those tanks, and potentially the science vessel as well. And Jaedong hopefully, well, thinks he's going to save that expansion. A lot of vultures moving in, but again, they're not going to do much of anything against Muta, so Jaedong may actually be able to save that for another day. And it looks like he's got +2 or +3 on those. Wow.
Wow, that's ridiculous. No wonder they're so effective. I think that's at least +2 on the Mutalisk and +2 Carapace. Just look at him. Look at Jaedong go. This guy is just insane. Oh, the first irradiate of the game, and that was an effective irradiate there, catching most of the Mutalisks in a giant swarm there. I don't know about this Mutalisk switch, though. I mean, there are a lot of glides on the field. They're good against vultures, but so what? I mean, if the glides are killing you. Oh, wow! Canata has finally
Wow.
gotten up the ramp with tanks. This could be the pivotal position here in this game because it looks like he will lose that expansion now. Meanwhile, he's trying to go, like, just all in here with his Mutalisk, just going to try to kill everything Canata owns coming out of his base, but he can't do that. Glides are just too good against Mutas. I mean, they're 3-3 at this point, guaranteed. So they're just so powerful. I mean, 32 base damage, 32 explosive damage, and 16 damage to each Mutalisk from each salvo of rockets when they're fully upgraded, and that is just ridiculous amount of damage. And you know, here we're seeing, looks like Jaedong will he be able to clear it out? Looks like he needs to commit with these Mutas or fly them away. I don't know. He loses the base. I don't know. I mean, Jaedong now is going to be behind, and I think upper right just went up now for Canata. So this is just ridiculous right now. I don't know what to call at this point, but it looks like Canata has won a significant battle. And Jaedong only mining out of one base actually, because two bases actually. He's mining off 2 bases, but you know, really he needs to be mining off of more to stay in this game.
Yeah, and actually, Canata may be stealing the lead back from Jaedong, as I think you were implying. Now we're seeing when lurkers are not good against metal, and that is when they are not under the protection of Dark Swarm. So maybe you were right after all, Cholera, because right now...
I like
oh
Ultra Wing a
no!
lot better.
Jaedong can't get his drones in there. He blocked them out with the sunken colonies, trying to protect them so badly, and they're just dancing around left and right, and Jaedong now in a lot of trouble. I don't think he's got many units at all to speak for, and look at him. He's got a little bit of a force, but not going to do much of anything against that metal force. He's trying to take the 3 o'clock position at this point. Canata is not going to have any of that, though, and he's going to take that down with some vultures before anything can go up. Jaedong, I think, is in a lot of trouble at this point. He's going to try to do a push in the middle, but look at all the forces that Canata has in the middle, and now we're going to see where Destination really plays into the Terran's hands, their favor, when it's difficult to flank the Terran player because of the bridges. Now that he's got those tanks and the Goliaths up all over the place, Jaedong just has no way to get enough forces in to attack and do a focus attack, or a flanking attack for that matter. And Canata, who by the way looks like he's only mining off of 2 bases as well, but that's much better. That's much more in his favor than in Jaedong's. And here comes Canata pushing his way across the bridge, and I think he's going to be able to do it. I think he's going to work his way in.
Yeah, I think he might be able to get all the way into the mining base there at the lower left, and that would be it for Jaedong. I mean, the thing is with Lurkerling is that, you know, against metal, you really need to be constantly on the offensive, and you constantly need to keep the Defilers alive, because Lurkers by themselves are just so weak. Just look at that. They just melt. That's why I personally like Ultraling a lot better. I think Ultralisks and Zerglings are a much better combination with dealing with Terran metal, and just looks like Jaedong never got there. I mean, he also stayed for a very long time on Hydralisks, basically because they're faster to build. That's the reason why he kept building them, and now he's paying the price for it. Hydralisks just don't work against all this Terran metal. Finally, he's going to pick off these forces, but not before they get a lot of drones there at the left side. I don't know if Jaedong has any spare drones to go around, and looks like a couple of Goliaths harassing the right side expansion. Jaedong, I mean, both players have very few minerals left in the bank, though, it looks like, because both of their armies are very small at this point. So, you know, maybe Jaedong can possibly come back if he can hold that new base on the right side. Although I think Canata has enough in the bank here, enough in the tank left to be able to finish off the right side and the left side. And that would be absolutely it for Jaedong. And now he's getting Jaedong's old expansion at the upper left. I think that's going to give him a fresh infusion of money there. That's going to let him win the game.
Yeah, and Spider-Mine's still playing their role. I mean, I can't believe how much damage they have done over the course of this entire game. And Canata with great positioning, blocking the ramp, and that could be it. I mean, I think he can range that hatchery too if he's got vision on it. And from there, look at Canata. I mean, he's got 3 mining bases to Jaedong's 1. The mid left or the bottom left for Jaedong is now mined out, even though he lost all his drones there as well. So Jaedong is only mining off of 1 bases to Canata's 3, and I don't care how good of a player you are. That is impossible, or almost impossible to come back from. And I think Jaedong is giving his last wind right here. And if he can pull something crazy out, he may have a chance. But at this point, is looking pretty dim.
No. Yeah, it's over for him. The Canata has gotten back his economy. Jaedong has no mining bases left, actually. He has absolutely none. Staying in this game is futile for him, but, he just wants to just do it for pride. He is going to obviously have another chance. He's going to move on to the final game, and looks like Canata will actually advance. And I got to say, this
Wow.
is an upset here. Anyone beating Jaedong, virtually anyone except for maybe the top 10 players, would be an upset. And Canada definitely is not up there. He's 1-4 this season in the Pro League, may I remind you. So this is a very, very impressive performance from him, especially with the Vultures. I mean, just beautiful Vulture play. That's what's won Canada the game, I think. Just all those
Oh
mines.
yeah.
Jaedong has one base, actually. You're right. One base at the lower right. But it's just not enough. And GG coming from Jaedong.
GG. Valiant attempt on a Terran-favored map from Jaedong. I gotta say, Canada has completely redeemed himself in this game, giving us a very entertaining match. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think
did too,
Cholera
yeah.
enjoyed it. So GG, guys. GG.
GG, and Jaedong not looking happy with himself. He's going to have to fight his way to make it into the next round in the final game. Stay tuned for Game 4.